Hello everyone, welcome to SportSource, your number one source of sports, and today I'm going to be doing an NHL 19 wish list. Now, I've got some NHL 18 gameplay in the background, and let me just preface this video by saying I've been playing the NHL games for a long time, and with each year I keep getting unhappier and unhappier, and I'm just not playing as much as the years go on, but I've compiled a list of my personal opinion and some stuff online that I've seen that I would like to see in the next NHL game. Most of this probably won't happen. Some things have already been announced, like Pond Hockey and Frostbite Engine, etc., which is good strides, but I really want this game to succeed and for EA to succeed. But let's start with the list. I'm going to compile it into different sections of game modes that I will be talking with, so it's very organized. But without further ado, let's start with franchise mode. Now, franchise mode is the game I play the most, and there's a lot that I want to be done with it. First off, scouting. Now, they've announced that scouting is going to be totally revamped, and that's good. They said that you're actually hiring scouts, and the level of scouts, and they scout certain places more than others, and they're, just that altogether. But that brings me with another point, is coaches. NBA is authentic coaches. I think that we should get authentic coaches that will boost our team. And speaking of boost, the sim engine. We really need the sim engine to, get better. Because the sim engine right now is just kind of random, We need things to be more organized. I want to revamp sim engine. That's more... It's more likely. It's more realistic, I'll say. And not just random. So a realistic sim engine is something I would want. Trading. Now I have lots of things for trading. First off, Trade Finder. NBA has a Trade Finder. I'm not sure about the other games, but Trade Finder is a big thing. Just do the Trade Finder. Then you got Trade for Future Considerations. That happens in the NHL all the time. Make protection on picks, future considerations. It's just stuff like that for picks. They don't really have a lot of that for picks, but if they could do that, that'd be great. 3-team trades. We've seen a couple of 3-team trades. They've become more and more common. We had the Matt Duchene one, and the Mike Hoffman one wasn't a 3-team trade, but it basically was. So add 3-team trades into NHL 18. That'd be greatly appreciated. Also, no movement clauses and no trade clauses. We added the contract extensions midway through the season, which was really good, but no movement clauses. And you also, in NHL 18, you have these little things, team roles. So you have contender, hopeful, and rebuilder. So trade, they should, they're like, oh, I want to go to a contender. Oh, I want to go to a rebuilder. Then you need to make that trade, and put them on that team. The no movement clauses, they give you a list of teams or just roles, just the team roles, or something like that. But yeah, you want the no movement clauses. The All-Star game. You used to have the All-Star game in NHL, well, old gen NHL, NHL 15, 14. Well, not NHL 15, but NHL 14, stuff like that. You have the All-Star game. And you could check on your team who made the All-Star game. And it was kind of cool, you see how good your team is doing. The All-Star game, you can sometimes play in it. We don't have that. But expand on the All-Star game, All-Star weekend, with the skills competition and just stuff like that. So add that in the game. I think that would be not easy, but I think it would be a good addition. Revamp free agency. Now, free agency, I like how they made it that people test free agency now, where they say that they don't want to re-sign. But revamp free agency so that there's constant back and forth contract negotiations. So they're like, okay, this is what I want. And then they could say no, but they don't decline fully. Then you renegotiate. Just revamp the free agency. Make it more realistic. Make it more fun. And that's all for franchise mode. Now we're moving on to the rosters. Now the rosters in NHL 18 aren't very good. So that's why here's some stuff we need to revamp. First of all, roster accuracy. Now, faces. They need more face scans. It's just not very accurate right now. It's very unrealistic. There's a lot of generic faces. Nobody really has a good face scan. Only like the very, very top players. You don't have those mid-tier guys. They should add more face scans into the game, which would lead to more roster accuracy. Attributes. Make the attributes more realistic. I feel like some of the attributes are just really wild. And with that is the prospects. Now, here's one thing I really hate. All the prospects are basically the same. Nothing stands out really. They all have a couple things in common, or they all have one really thing. They all have 5-star skating. Literally, if you sim like 10 years into the future at franchise mode, everyone has 5-star skating, and you have an 83 overall, which is really good, but they're overall they're pretty trash other than skating categories, which bumps them all the way up to an NHL player. You shouldn't have that. You should have more well-rounded players as you go on. You have great well-rounded players in the NHL today, like Anze Kopitar, Patrice Bergeron. You have lots of well-rounded guys, and you should make your future players more well-rounded. Somehow make that so the attributes are more even, so they're not just good at really one thing and then they're trash at everything else, because that's not really fun. Prospect accuracy, that ties into that. Make the potentials, just overall roster accuracy, potentials, overalls, more frequent roster updates, and get more people working on the roster updates. Maybe some people that actually have watched hockey before, because most of the people, they don't know what they're doing. They just add random categories, It's not very accurate to the real-life players, so do that. And if they did this, they wouldn't have to have a roster sharing. Roster sharing would be an amazing thing. I really want them to add it. If they don't add it, I'm going to be very disappointed. It's one of the top things on anyone and everyone's NHL 19 wish list. So if you had accurate rosters, you wouldn't need the roster sharing as much. It'd still be cool to have roster sharing. They said they're having legends, which is cool. You can make all-time teams, stuff like that. But roster sharing would be very good. More customization, so more heads, face scans, hairstyles, celebrations. Well, not really celebrations, because no one really cares about those, but more customization, more attributes. I feel like the attributes right now are really stale. You've had the same attributes for a long time. Revamp those. They don't really, most of them don't reflect on a player. Change the archetypes as well, because defensive defensemen, they always never get points. You could have a defensive defenseman with 99 passing, 99 everything, and they would still probably not do very good because they got that defensive defenseman role. Revamp those somehow. I hate, you don't really want defensive defensemen in the game because they're pretty trash. They don't get a lot of points, and they just don't do really good in general. So revamp the system there. Two-way forwards, snipers, just make them more realistic, make them better. So just revamp archetypes, and more leagues would be nice too. I know that they don't have the rights to lots of leagues, but the AJHL, Cale Makar, Dante Fabro, you could add that league right now because it's more realistic. I know that's going to be hard with rights. They can't get the KHL, they can't get the NCAA, but you could try to add a couple more leagues into the game. If you can, that would be great. Now moving on to Be a Pro. Be a Pro is basically a dead game mode in NHL 18, but for NHL 19, totally revamp it. I don't care. Revamp it. Make it anything else. The direction you're going with right now isn't really a direction. It's kind of just a dead game mode that they don't put any time to at all. Everyone was like, oh, you should add the request a trade, and then they added it, and then everyone's happy. I don't like when people do that. You shouldn't have to beg for something, and then they give it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's good. They should already have it in the first place. That's what EA does. They take stuff away, they get people mad, they bring it back, then they get on the good side. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? There's no point. I've seen this happen a lot over the years. But yeah, just total revamp. Now they've added the skill tree, which they have in, I think, FIFA. So, new way to apply skills instead of just training that no one cares about, which I really like the idea of a skill tree. Maybe if they could add that into EASHL. I don't really play EASHL that much, but that'd be kind of cool, I guess. But just totally revamp Be a Pro. I'm not saying there has to be a storyline. Everyone wants a storyline. That'd just be too hard to put in the game. And really, does anybody really, they're praising all these other games for having a storyline, but are they perfect? NBA storylines sucked this year. I mean, it's still cool to have a storyline, but, you want to build your legacy a different way. Hockey isn't that big of a market, so I feel like adding a story mode would just not be worth it in the end. But yeah, just totally revamp Be a Pro. I don't care what you do. Make it a different game mode than it is right now. Moving on to actual gameplay, I don't have much for this. Hitting and skating physics. They already said that they're going to revamp these in the trailers. I'm really happy for that. Hitting looks a lot better. Like, you shouldn't hit someone. Like, this is always what happens, and it's frustrating. You hit someone, they're laid on the ice. You think that they're going to stay there a while. Nope, they just get up, pick up the puck, keep going. And the skating physics, the puck pickup, where you just skate around the puck, you know, stuff like that. You just need to revamp the physics in the game. They got Frostbite engine, so the game's going to look a lot cleaner and nicer. Also, fix AI difficulty. The AI, lots of people complain about the AI, and, you know, you just need to fix it, make it harder, you know, more differences in AI, like difficulties, you know, more tweeners, you know, because I'm all-star, but I'm in between all-star and superstar, so, like, can you have one for that? I don't know, but, yeah, that's just a couple of things there for gameplay. Moving on to miscellaneous things, this is just random stuff, and I only have one. Better soundtrack. You need a better soundtrack. Now, I know that there's copyright issues. It would be... okay, if there were no copyright issues, it'd be super cool if you could just pick songs online and have them playing in your soundtrack. But the reality is that won't happen because of copyright, and it'll just never happen in the game. But at least make a better soundtrack. The NHL soundtracks over the past, at least on New Gen, it's been like 4 of the same songs over and over and over and over again, drilling into your head. If you're playing franchise mode for, let's say, an hour, this is why I turn off my volume. I don't play with volume anymore because, you know, you're just drilling that into your head. You know, you got the same song so many times. In an hour that you're playing, you have the same song, like, playing for 5 times. You don't want that. So, get more songs, get better songs, you know, get songs that people actually like. Look at NBA, they have, like, 20 songs. They're all like, oh, yeah, this song's great, you know. They're recognizable songs. No one knows the songs in the NHL soundtrack, you know. Get some different songs, like, I don't know, High Hopes. That was one that was playing in the NHL playoffs. I don't know. Just get something, revamp the better soundtrack. And lastly, the last mode is Draft Champions. Now, yes, I didn't touch up on EASHL or HUT. And I kind of, some of these modes I didn't go more in depth. But that's why, if you want part 2, let me know down below. But, starting with Draft Champions, we're ending it off here. Revamp it. It's a great idea. Done right, you know, a draft mode could be fun. NBA, you know, they kind of failed. But, like, Madden, lots of people like their draft mode. FIFA, lots of people like their draft mode. You know, NHL just doesn't have a good draft mode. It's not very playable. No one really likes it. The rewards kind of suck. You know, it's just not good. They need to revamp it, make it playable again. When it first came out, everyone was praising it, but to be honest, it's not even that fun. They need to revamp it, make it a better game mode, make it playable for the consumer. And that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, press that like button for a part 2, and comment down below if you want me to do this for NBA 2K19 wishlist. I already got some stuff written down, jotting some notes. So anyways, that's all for me now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and goodbye.